Okay, so the dough has been proofing for about 4 hours. Now we're going to release the carbon dioxide, the gas that's built up. Some people call this punching down. I just like to say degasing. And we're just gently removing the dough and letting the gas escape. Now I'm going to show you how to form the buns. It's actually an easy and fun process. Lots of different ways you can bench your dough. That's what you call this process if we were in a bakery, but I just like to let the dough sit for a minute and then just using my pastry scraper divide it into 2 equal parts, and then we're going to divide each of the 2 pieces into 2 more pieces. Okay, so then take 1 piece of dough at a time. Divide it in half and half again. So each piece of dough is going to yield 4 pieces. And what we're going to do to form the actual buns is just turn the dough under on itself. So see, I'm just pushing the dough gently around. There we have a nice little bun formed. I'm putting it onto a sheet that's been lined with parchment paper. Again, just turning the dough on itself. Okay, there we have a lovely little bun. Really easy, and the process is actually pretty fast. So I'm going to finish forming all of the buns, then we'll get them on a baking sheet. We'll cover them with a piece of plastic and allow them to proof again until they're double their size. Okay, so I've formed the dough into 16 pieces, and I'm going to allow them to proof, but what I'll do is cover them while the dough is fermenting with a piece of plastic wrap. It just keeps the skin of the dough from becoming dried out. So just drape plastic wrap. Okay, I'm going to actually cut a second piece. This is the piece I had covering my bowl, and it's really not quite big enough. So I'm going to put a second piece. Now I'll just allow the buns to grow till they're about twice the size of what they are. The yeast will ferment the sugars, everything grows and expands, and then we're ready to bake. The buns have fermented, proofed, whatever you want to call it, long enough. Now we take a pair of scissors, or you could use a knife, cut one way, just now they get brushed with an egg glaze and they go into a 375-degree oven until they're really beautifully brown and completely baked. The glaze that I'm using is egg yolk, a little bit of cream in it. So you just want to cover and get them into the oven. The buns have just come out of the oven, and now what I like to do is brush them while they're really hot with melted butter. Just a quick brushing, and it just really adds a little bit of specialness to the outside of the bun, to the crust. And it adds wonderful flavor in addition. How could butter not be good? Then once they've cooled, if you're going to use them all right away, you could put the frosting on into the crosses. Or if you're not going to use them all at one time, freeze them before you put the icing on them. And then they can be defrosted, and then the icing can be added as you're going to use them. And there we go, just enough butter too. They look spectacular. Okay, and that's it. So this is all we have to do to make wonderful English hot cross buns. Okay, I've made the icing. I've put it in a little Ziploc bag, and we're just going to clip off the end like so, and all you need to do is fill in the area that you cut with the scissors. Now, if you don't like the icing, then you don't have to do it. But this is the traditional way that the buns have always been made. And this is why they're called the English hot cross buns. And you can decorate them with almonds also if you'd like. Well, I hope that this video has been helpful, but more importantly, I hope you'll really try making these wonderful, wonderful Lenten cakes. It's really fun working with the yeast, and I absolutely love it. There's so many various things that you can do with yeast cookery, basically, and this is just one of the great things I think that we have in the repertoire. And now for the most fun of the day, I get to taste the labors of my work. So let's see how we did. Absolutely amazing. The bread, the cake, the bun, whatever you choose to call it, is light and buttery, but really fragrant with the perfume of all the wonderful spices, the cardamom, the cinnamon, the nutmeg, little dash of allspice, all those wonderful things are in it. And there's also grated orange zest. So the combination and the complements of all the flavors are just remarkable. So for A Baker's Passion, I'm Ray Madursky, and I really hope you'll go to www.abakerspassion.com and try this amazing, fun, wonderful recipe. Take care.